Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. Zach D Productions here, and I'm here for a list video for you guys. Now for this list, I'll be going over 5 bands in the metal genre that even non-metal fans seem to enjoy. Now I know this from some people that I've talked to. I know that there's people that I have talked to that don't consider themselves to be metalheads that claim to be even fans of these bands. So with that being said, if you are someone that is not into metal at all or anything like that, and maybe you're looking to dive into the genre more, maybe you've only listened to a few songs and maybe you're kind of interested in metal or whatever, and maybe you're just looking to, I guess, expand your music taste and music library, well, maybe these are the bands to check out. Maybe one of these bands are the band for you. Now, let's go ahead and get started with this list, and I think we'll start off with the band Metallica. Obviously, Metallica is a big name in metal, and I think that this is the first band that comes to mind when people think of metal bands that even non-metalheads seem to enjoy. They are definitely a great band, for sure. Now, I know some people say that the Black Album was their last good album. I do think that there were some gems to be found after that album, but when it came to Metallica, you just can't go wrong with those first 5 albums. I mean, when it comes to their first 5 albums, that's just kind of where it's at in my opinion. Now, the Black Album, yeah, it's more commercial, more mainstream sounding, and I think that this would be a good gateway album. And it's obviously the biggest heavy metal album of all time, and if you're not familiar with metal, this is definitely an album to check out for sure. A good gateway album. But of course, if you want to start off with something maybe not like those first 5 Metallica albums, maybe you want to start off with one of their blues rock influenced albums like Load and Reload of the late 90s. Of course, you could start there. Would not recommend starting there, but if that's what you want, go right ahead, of course. But yeah, Metallica, definitely one of the first bands that come to mind, for sure. The next band up is Demon Hunter. Now, I definitely know a few people that are not really into metal that really do like Demon Hunter. I think Demon Hunter is a very easy band to get into. They were actually my introduction to the metal genre. You know, I think one of the main reasons why this band gets a lot of fans in that are not really metalheads is their ballad songs. I mean, you just cannot go wrong with their ballads. I mean, they're just so irresistible, I guess. Of course, with songs like Dead Flowers and I Will Fail You and My Heartstrings Come Undone, Deteriorate, and many other songs, ballads in their career. I mean, these are the songs that pretty much do it for people that are not really into metal. I mean, when they hear those songs, they think, I really enjoy this band's music, at least their ballad songs. Now, sure, maybe for non-metal heads, their heavier stuff might be a little bit to get used to, but you know, I think when you listen to their ballad songs enough, I think you'll start to get more used to their heavy songs, and then after that, maybe you'll explore more metalcore and just more metal in general, and you know, you'll be expanding your music taste, and this is just, you know, a good way to look at it, I think. So, yeah, their ballads, I really enjoy them. In my opinion, I think they're better than their heavy stuff. I mean, to me, that's really what Demon Hunter does best, is ballads. So, Demon Hunter is definitely a band that I wanted to mention here. Now, another band that I want to talk about is Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden is definitely, I would say, an easy band to get into if you're looking to check out the metal genre. I mean, if I were to recommend any gateways, I would say those first 4 or 5 albums, because in the later days of Iron Maiden, they did become a little more technical, a little more complex. So, you know, if you want something a little more accessible, a little more straightforward, then I would recommend the first 4 or 5 Iron Maiden albums. That's kind of where it's at when it comes to the, I guess, accessible side of the band. I do like most of Iron Maiden's material, definitely a notable band in metal, and of course another one of the biggest heavy metal bands of all time. Definitely a great band, and Can't go wrong with them. So the next band I want to talk about is Dream Theater. Another band that definitely comes to mind when I think of metal bands that non-metal fans seem to be liking. You know, Dream Theater definitely has an interesting sound to them. Like, if you were to play a Dream Theater song, particularly one of their later day stuff, to someone, some people might not even realize that they're a heavy metal band, especially, you know, when it comes to their ballads. And like with Demon Hunter, maybe it's Dream Theater's ballads that are really pulling people in when it comes to Dream Theater's music and getting people into this band's music. And I mean, they do a good job at ballads as well. I mean, I like pretty much everything from Dream Theater. They have no bad album, in my opinion. You should check these guys out, even if you're not into metal. I mean, I think a lot of people would be very surprised of what they'd be able to get into if they just give these bands chances. And that's the thing, man. There's some people that I know that will not give bands chances because they see that they're metal, they're in the metal genre, because, you know, they think it's all death metal, it's all screaming, but they'd be very surprised if they checked out a band like Dream Theater. And again, I do know some people who are not into metal, but really like Dream Theater. So there you have it. Really great band, probably my favorite in the progressive metal genre as well. So the last band I want to talk about for this list is Black Sabbath. Definitely another band that comes to mind when I think of metal bands that I know non-metalheads enjoy. Now, some people even go as far to mistaken Black Sabbath as a rock band. Now, I know some metal elitists might say, oh, well, they are rock. They're dad rock, you know, because they're not extreme metal or whatever. But, I mean, come on. Black Sabbath are one of the founders of metal, at least I would say one of metal's pioneers. And, yeah, definitely a great band. And I can definitely see why some people might mistaken them as a rock band, since their sound isn't too far off from a rock band like Led Zeppelin, you know? So I can definitely understand that, but yeah, I like most of Black Sabbath's material, especially the 70s era with Ozzy. And if you want something that is, I guess, a little accessible, you want their most accessible album, I would say start off with their album Paranoid. So, yeah. But Master of Reality would probably be my favorite Black Sabbath album. But all in all, very solid band and definitely an important band when it comes to metal. And this is definitely a must-listen to band if you want to get into metal for sure. So Black Sabbath, really solid band. Can't recommend them enough. So there you have it. Those are 5 metal bands that I would recommend to non-metal fans, mainly just due to the fact that I know that there's some non-metalheads that actually really do like these bands and would even go as far to say that they're fans of these bands. And they're good gateways. I think they're good gateway bands too. And, you know, even if you do like these bands and, you look further more into metal and you still don't think metal is a genre for you, that's totally fine. At least you like something in the genre, right? That's really all that matters at the end of the day. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with this list? Is there any bands that you would have added? So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.